You know what time it is. It's time for Microcast Monday. Next on the CJ Evolution podcast. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Happy Monday. It is a new week. It's a new Monday, and you got this. Remember, what you put out, you get back. And special thanks to all the first responders out there, whatever you're doing in the first responder field, the criminal justice field. Thank you for doing it. And remember this, among all the chaos and the shit talking with people who are trying to bring you down, remember this: the overwhelming majority of people in this country support you. I know sometimes, or most of the times, you don't see that, but it's true. People support you. I wish they were more vocal, but they do support you. Remember, you are honored, cherished, and above all, you are loved. And if you're struggling, reach out to the Shatterproof program, FHE Health, for first responders, Shatterproof program for first responders at FHE Health. Links are in the show notes. And as we go into this week, I want to give a special shout out to all the veterans out there. It is Veterans Day on Tuesday. And let us remember, without the brave men and women who serve this country and veterans of our United States military, we wouldn't be here, because they defend this country. They often give the ultimate sacrifice to defend this great country we call the United States of America. So big shout out to everybody for Veterans Day. I want to talk about the comeback mindset. Sometimes I work in behavioral health, and sometimes clients ask me, how did you come back? How did you, overcome the challenges, especially being in recovery and not relapsing and not going back to those bad ways? Well, I'm still coming back from my, depression and darkness I was in. I'm in a hell of a lot better place than I was a handful of years ago, but it's a constant process. And sometimes people ask me, how did you develop that mindset? And I'm continuing to develop that comeback mindset. But the one thing I would say is, you have to believe in yourself. You have to believe that you can take on anything and overcome it. I'm a big believer in mindfulness. I'm a big believer in visualization. I meditate every day. I say my prayers. I work out. I journal. I would say that's a big portion of my morning routine. And why I'm telling you this, because it could possibly help you. That's helped me in my comeback, and it continues to help me in my comeback. But you really have to, when you're developing that type of mindset, you have to believe that you are going to accomplish what you want to accomplish. And I often say this to clients and groups, if we're talking about things. I never thought I'd be working in behavioral health, but here I am, almost 5 years into it, and I can't imagine doing nothing else. It's not that I wasn't passionate about being a cop. I was in the military, but I am super passionate about what I do now because I've been on the side of darkness and I've been in those dark spaces, but now I'm on the other side helping our brave men and women in the first responder field as well as veterans. So I am truly blessed. Another thing I want to talk about, as far as my comeback is, my belief in God and coming closer to my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. I have come so intimately close to God. I can't even explain it. And I pray every day, like I mentioned before, and God has helped me through my rough patches. So if, I know that's kind of a hodgepodge of things I threw at you, but that's helped to develop my comeback. And it still helps me with, striving towards where I want to go in my personal and professional life. But you just have to develop it. And a big portion of, your comeback mindset is who you're surrounding yourself with. I'm a firm believer in that. If you're surrounding yourself with, people who are depressed, and even though that's horrible, people who are negative and cynical and bitter and pissed off at the world, guess what? You're going to absorb that. You're going to become that. If you have kids, I mean, how many times I have kids, they're older now, they're adults, but if you have small kids, how many times are you telling your small kids or your toddlers or your teenagers don't hang out with those other kids? I know I did to my kids several times, and it's because who you hang out with, you become. So, and it doesn't change when we're adults. we still fall into that trap. So again, you can change. You can develop new habits and you can develop the overcome mindset, but it takes work every day. It's like, some days for me, it's like, moving a football an inch down the field. And then sometimes I get sacked and I lose some yardage, but then I have to gain those yards back. And that is life, folks. And nothing comes easy. You have to put in the work. But above all, believe in yourself and you can develop that mindset and overcome anything that life throws at you. I hope you have a great week. Please reach out to me if you want to, cjevolution.com. I'd love to hear from you. If you or somebody else you know would be a good fit for the show, please reach out to me. And I'm proud to say that I have Frontline Focus coaching now on my website. I would love to hear from you if you want some coaching. I got a lot of experience in my life. A cop for many, many years, over 2 decades, military experience, behavioral health experience, clinical experience, even though I am just a clinician in training. I'm not officially a clinician yet, and I'm working towards my licensure down the road. But I'd like to share with you what I've been through in my life, and I know I can help you. So reach out to me at cjevolution.com. Go conquer your day. And above all, be safe. God bless.